What's up, y'all? It's your girl Stacey the Intuitive. Welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to come and talk to you guys about the self-healing journey and just give you guys a little bit of understanding that will support you on your self-healing journey. So I just want to first off shout out to God for allowing me to be inspired with this message today, allowing that divine energy to flow to and through me so that I can relay the messages that are needed for the collective at this time. Thank you guys for being here, asking God to protect the space so that we can all feel safe in the sharing of expanded consciousness, guys. So I really wanted to hit on what it means to be on a self-healing journey. To me, being on a self-healing journey from my experience has been deciding to commit to the path of authenticity and self-honoring, right? A lot of the time when we find ourselves in need of healing, it is because we have been in a situation that did not honor how we view ourselves, our authenticity, how we feel about ourselves, whether it be that someone else put us in the situation or we did, but we have a choice about how we view ourselves, how we navigate following that, and that is the self-healing journey. The work that you do to be honoring past the point of whatever did not resonate or whatever experiences, brought you pain or a feeling of brokenness in whatever way. For me, this whole healing journey has been so transformative, so amazing, because it has really catapulted me into this journey of understanding, self-discovery. And that's what I think that the healing journey is truly about. It initiates you into this energy of wanting to discover more of yourself so that your life can be all encompassed of your authenticity, and that you find that each area resonates, each area is pouring into this, this self-loving image of self and things like that, where all areas are a reflection of how you feel about yourself and the person that you are becoming, because we are ever expanding. So I just wanted to share that first and foremost, because I do feel like some of the discourse a lot of the time around self-healing has to do with the externalized efforts, and those externalized efforts are very great, right? We love those. Those are a big part of it, but it's all about the mindset that supports those externalized efforts, such as like going to the gym, eating healthy. Those are all self-healing things. Those are all a part of your self-healing journey. But the mindset that we utilize to support those things, such as I want to be self-honoring, that is why I am going to the gym and doing all these things, as opposed to something on the surface that I see commonly as like, I'm about to get a body and not get a body. I'm about to switch up my body and I'm going to show all these people. That's, if you look at it from that lens, you can see the energy is slightly different than when you're like, I want to be self-honoring and honor the image of myself that I see myself as. I want to honor my body. I want to honor, my sense of self or whatever have you. So that's why I wanted to hit on this, to get you guys to really start putting some of that groundwork in underneath the surface that will really support your journey and catapult you to new heights of self-healing, right? Self-healing also, when it comes to the things that we have done to ourselves and the situations we put ourselves in due to a lack of self-love, is not about shaming ourselves. It's not about judging that version of ourselves. A lot of us within this society have the tendency to look at our past selves, our unhealed selves, from a lens of like, oh, I was dumb or stupid. That's not how I view my relationship with myself. I take it as such that those moments where I found myself in less than favorable circumstances, those were all initiatory moments, and those versions of me were strong enough to actually make the shifts every time. And that is what the continuous healing journey is about. It is about when you are on the path, when you decide to embark on the path of self-healing, you are making a conscious choice throughout your day-to-day, throughout your moment to moment, to be self-honoring, to honor what you've learned, to be open to learning new things that can support your relationship with yourself. And that is so important, guys. That has been like one of the best parts of my journey, is just that, upon, kind of walking on this self-love journey, this self-healing journey, it has really given my life purpose and meaning. It has given it so much fullness, in that every single experience is connected to the last experience, meaning every single lesson, the plethora of information I have gained from experience to experience can be taken with me moment to moment, so that I can make informed decisions along my path. And when I meet certain circumstances, maybe that I don't know how to navigate, I still have a plethora of information at my disposal to utilize. And I have like a deeper level understanding about what circumstances mean in my life and what they're bringing to me, what they're trying to highlight to me. And that to me is the self-healing journey. It is about the path to betterment, but not even to say betterment, because again, we don't want to look at it as like, this is the bad version of me, this is the good version. It's more so to self-expansion, understanding, and the kind of like solidification of authenticity. That is what self-healing is. And that journey of self-healing really comes when you prioritize the self. Like, okay, I want to see myself. I want my reality to reflect myself. And then the journey becomes, what is the self? How can I honor the self? How can I learn about the self? How can I treat the self better, even if it's just in the way you talk to yourself? Because I think a lot of the time too, the ways that we talk to our friends and the people around us, that really is a reflection of how we talk to ourselves. And so I learned that when I got on the healing journey, I really didn't like the, you know, the tough love that is, the shaming that is kind of like masked as tough love and things like that. Like, I didn't want to be talked to like that because I don't talk to myself that way. I try to be self-honoring. Self-honoring is not only about this present version of self, but it's honoring the journey that you have underwent, that those versions of you in the past have underwent in order to get to this point where you can make those informed decisions. And you begin to understand that more as you get deeper into the path, when, you know, you're looking back and the choices and things are maybe not as detrimental and things like that because of the information you had. How can you not honor that part? You know, maybe something that happened a week ago that initiated you into a shift. How can you not honor that, especially when you've already been on the healing journey? It gets you to want to look back at the things that are even further from when maybe you didn't have the consciousness to be on the healing journey, and to give yourself that grace and that love, and to not offer shame, because shame is literally, it is a consciousness killer. It is a self-love killer, and that is not what the self-love journey is about. I just really want to preface this thing about shame, because I think that we shame people a lot in this society, but the entire journey of self-healing, the entire journey of healing, in my opinion, from what I have observed in my own journey, is literally about self-forgiveness, right? Forgiveness doesn't come forth and just being like, okay, I forgive that I went through this. No, it's the acknowledgement that you've went through things a lot of the time due to your own volition, due to your own actions or whatever. You put yourself in circumstances, you acknowledge that as truth, and you commit to making better choices. That is what's healing. It's about seeing yourself as enough, right? And that brings about this self-forgiveness for whatever experiences you had, when you can acknowledge the importance, the vital aspect of committing to making different choices, and how important it is for you to give yourself that grace and give yourself that self-honoring. And that, you know, I see what has happened, what that led me, what that kind of like conjured within me, what that made me feel, and now I'm gonna make different choices. And it's really in that moment, that present moment, when you decide to make different choices, or when you're initiated to making a choice that's a reflection of some sort of consciousness that you have gained on this healing journey. It's really in those moments that the healing happens. When you show yourself different than what you've expected of yourself, when you surprise yourself, when you make the right choice, when there's a test and you pass, right? It's about deciding to commit to, if we're going to use that test analogy, like, it's committing to like literally studying for this test, even though maybe you don't want to or whatever. It's like, I'm going to study, and this is something that I'm going to invest into. It's kind of like if you were to make the school path in the energetic realm, right? Let me kind of like break that out a little bit more. So like, you know how school, like, you decide to go on a certain track. Like for me, it was political science, right? So I decided to go into political science. It doesn't mean that I like continue that, whatever, but if we're talking about it energetically and kind of trying to transpose it into this way, it's you deciding to go on that path of political science and committing to that path, and that you're going to study for the test, and that you're going to show up for the classes, and that you're really going to give your all to it. And that's what it's about on the self-healing journey. But it has more to do with yourself, right? I'm going to learn all these things about what my needs, wants, and things are. I'm going to honor those every single time that I'm initiated to make a choice that's reflective of that, that I'm going to do it. And it, like I said, it's not only in the things that you can externalize to kind of shift your external in a way. It can come up in little things, like when you are about to hang out with your friends or something like that. People are asking you to hang out, but your soul is craving solitude. This is one of the biggest like self-healing moments that I'll have oftentimes, or, you know, that I have found myself in a lot of time. Like, I have to honor what my needs are when they come up, right? So that I don't find myself in circumstances being like, I should have done this. It's about like literally committing to the present so that you don't really have to have those regrets. And if you do come with something that feels like, okay, I shouldn't have done that, you are conscious about that so you can make a choice that is different from the one that you have made. But yeah, I want to talk about other ways that this can show up. So like I said, you know, like you didn't want to hang out with your friends, or something like maybe you are a little bit more timid or like reserved, you don't share a lot of things, but you know, something is on your heart. It can be that choice to express that, right? To honor the voice that's coming through. But really it's just about listening to that authentic, essential part of you and committing to listening to it so that you can be honoring of who you truly are, so that you don't make choices that feel like you have put yourself in a bad position by not listening to who you are. That is what the self-healing journey is to me. That's what it is. It's about constantly committing to being that overall healed version of yourself that has made choices that have led you to a life that feels like you got somewhere from that point of realizing that you needed the healing. You know what I mean? I hope that resonates with some of you guys. I do believe, like, I'm just so grateful for this healing journey. It's like it started off with one little small wound that made me aware of all my other wounds. And since becoming aware of those wounds and how they affect the way that I think, talk, and act, I have been very conscious and intentional about observing myself and being an observer of the world that I'm in, so that I can make choices that align to who I am, so that I can consistently get closer to that more authentic version of me. Because when you really do think about it, on the healing journey, a lot of the time it really, the healing, the need for healing oftentimes comes from finding yourself in circumstances that you do not resonate with, that are not a reflection of your authenticity, whether it be that someone has imposed something onto you and you now need to heal from it. Now it's like, okay, the healing aspect comes in how you view yourself going forward and how you're going to treat yourself and respond to that energy that is kind of like infiltrating your aura, your energetic fields. Or when it comes to things that you have done, it's being conscious about how the actions that you've taken were not authentic to you, they didn't resonate, and how you're gonna shift so that that doesn't really happen again. Okay, so that you can be more consciously aware in the choices that you make. So I hope this video resonated. I just felt called to do it. You know, the healing journey is, I think, the most important journey that any of us were taking in our lives, because it is a journey of authenticity. So I love sharing about this. This is what my life is all about. I have kind of like literally centered my entire life around the healing journey, but not in that way where it's like, oh my God, I always need to heal. It's just more so, because I do want to preface that too. The healing journey is not about thinking that you're never healed. It's just about loving yourself enough to constantly choose you, to choose authenticity more and more, and to be excited when those things come through. And I think that's what makes my healing journey for myself so special, is because I'm not always like, oh, you know, I just need so much to heal. And I do have times where I feel like that, but I counteract that by just being so grateful for where I am and where I've come from and what the journey has brought me, and knowing that I am perfect as I am right now, and that I want to continue to experience that perfection by just learning more and more of me, by becoming more and more aware of my authenticity. That is how I kind of curb that energy of like getting like into the spiritual healing trap, because you don't want to get into that. You want to love yourself now. That's why it's good to really frame it as, I'm so excited to learn more about myself and constantly make and continuously and consistently make choices that are honoring of that self that I'm learning and that I am to learn more about, right? Rather than just like, oh, I'm so damaged and I need to heal. That's not what it's about. Right? The reason sometimes we find ourselves in circumstances is because we don't know enough about ourselves. We don't know enough about the world, whatever have you. And the healing journey gives you an opportunity to become an expert in all things you, so that you find your world being reflected of that. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really enjoyed making this, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye. Mwah.